Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
We're going to talk about online team buildings. But before we start, how are you doing at Event Masters in these challenging times?
Well, if you take into account the circumstances of Corona, we are doing okay. The company is doing okay, but we are doing great with team building. But that's one of the 6 different departments that we have in Event Masters. For team building, we are doing great. We had to reinvent ourselves in a few weeks' time, which we did. We were quite fast ready with new concepts in the beginning of April and May last year, but we are doing okay. We have a lot of new concepts that we can propose to the clients, and we see also a lot of new clients arriving.
You were very fast to start doing online team buildings. How did that go?
Yeah, we went to first lockdown was the 16th of March last year, and then the beginning of April we had our first online team buildings.
But you felt that the clients were not really ready for an online team building yet, because people thought, just hold on, save the summer, and they had to take care of their children. They had to get used to working from home. So it was really difficult to say to people, you need an online team building, because people were more like, or of our clients were more like, we'll wait until we can organize a live event. So only after summer, these online team buildings were getting very popular, as they really felt the need to do something with their team as working from home. They felt like disconnected from each other and disconnected from the company. So it was only after summer that our clients really felt the urge and the need to organize those online team buildings. So it got booming after summer.
But we were ready, but the client weren't.
You could say that way, indeed, absolutely.
But how does that look like, an online team building?
You can compare it with what we are doing here. It's online. It's from a studio. You have also an MC like you have in normal team buildings, but instead of being all together in one room or one castle, for example, well, everybody's doing it from home, and we talk to MS Teams or Zoom, and we try to have as many live experiences inside the online experience by having the MC and also the award ceremony at the end of the team building, where people during the team building had to take some pictures, and we show those pictures afterwards, which give them great souvenirs on the team building. And that's how we try to do it. We try to simulate as much as we can the real experience of having a team building.
Yeah, and that's then a game you play together with your colleagues, or how do I need to see that?
Now, we have different kind of team building activities, starting from a small energizer to energize the people to get them ready for a meeting. Those are short activities that last for 15 to 13 minutes. And then we have all kind of real team building activities, starting from a simple quiz to a murder activity, or even a real team training where you focus on reaching some goals during 2 hours, where you really focus on the learning outcomes more than on the fun part. So that is, we have a whole variety of different kind of activities, but the most simple ones to explain are, and that everybody knows, are the quiz formats, or a murder activity, or even an online escape room. So those are very easy to understand. So those are the kind of things that we organize. But we have 16 different activities, so there's an activity for each client.
For everything that we had in the, let's say, the live team building events, nowadays we have the same thing for the online team building events. So every request that a client possibly could have, we might have the solution for it. So we have 16 different concepts that we even can personalize. So at the end, you will have more than 30 different concepts for the clients.
What do you mean with personalized, Johnny?
You can include, for example, questions, give them a picture of the colleagues, and then you need to rank them by order of anciennity inside the company. You can do something with Google Maps, where people have to find the best way to the office, the fastest way to the office. You can have pictures that you can include, but also questions about products, about services, about colleagues. Everything that you've done during a seminar, you can ask questions about it later on, so that people, you have a feedback from them to see if they recognized it, they memorized it, everything during the seminar, and then you do it during a team building again with extra questions.
Maybe to give an example of what Johnny is telling, only tonight we are organizing a race around the world, a virtual tour around the world for a company, for a small group of only 20 people. And what is the goal? Well, one of their colleagues is leaving to take on another job in America. So it's a goodbye party, actually. So what have we done? We personalized the race around the world, which is an existing game, and we tailored some of the questions. So those questions are specific about that colleague. When did he start? What is his favorite food? So just really to celebrate that colleague. So that's one thing. And what we also did was create onboarding games, for example. Those are 100% tailor-made programs to gamify an onboarding, because you have to know that a lot of companies hired new people, but they were even not in the possibility to go physically to an office. So they organized online onboarding trainings. And even for that, we made an onboarding game, a gamification of an onboarding activity.
Yeah,
for some of them, it's the first time they meet their new colleagues is during the team building. You have to see that the onboarding activities, people go to the office one time, they get their cell phone, their computer, their car keys, and they go back home. And from there, they start their new job. And the first time they meet somebody might be during the team building, where they can have a parkour during the building, for example.
Yeah, and it's very important then to have at least a moment to meet the colleagues and so on. And this is a format that's way more attractive than the traditional Zoom meeting, just like that.
True.
You were talking about all those games. Is that something you develop yourself, or is that together with some other event agencies? How does that work?
No, we are more than 5 years old member of Catalyst Global, which is an international association of more than 50 partners who developed different concepts in more than 80 different countries in all over the world. And all together we created those new concepts, which made sure that those concepts are proven, because worldwide, we have done a lot of these events, so all the small mistakes are out of the game, and all together we can work on it.
Yeah, and also cultural differences maybe are solved already.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those games are all neutral, which is also very important in these online times, as they decide to put the whole company together or the whole group, where in the past you had to fly over and fly into a meeting. Now you can just connect them online. So it's very important to keep it neutral and to keep it fit for all, actually. But that is indeed a very good example of the benefits of this network, is that those activities are organized on a daily basis worldwide, and those activities are just very stable. So we can rely on those beautiful high quality products which are in reach. So that means that we can offer new activities each month, which is very nice for our clients, because we can always offer them something new.
Yeah, our clients go from China to Chile. Our partners, I mean, is the partners of Catalyst. They go from China, Australia, South Africa, Chile, name it. There we have a partner over there, which is also interesting, because if we have a client over here and, for example, they work together with the Indian people, well, we can have Indian facilitators over there working with their team, and we do everything from here. So they've been talking to in the native language, which is an added value for your team building, of course.
Yeah, obviously. From a perspective of participants, is there a limit of maximum number of people that can join in such a team building, or?
Not really. Of course, all the systems have its limits, but there are solutions for those technical limits. But what is interesting to see is that with a physical, a regular team building, normally groups are a bit bigger. They consist out of 10 people. So there's always that one person who is on the phone, checking his emails, calling a client. But in an online team building, you have smaller groups of only 4 to 5 people. So you're really more focused. There's literally no one taking the phone or answering an email. You really see that people are more focused and more into the game and more concentrated and focused on what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the number of size of the group, the smallest team building we've done last year was 6 people, and the biggest one is 1,000 people.
1,000?
Yeah.
That's an impressive number to have in one team building.
Yeah, you have more than 50 persons of staff behind to help everybody to get through the in-log process. But once that's done, they're all gone. And you don't, for us in the studio, it doesn't matter if there is 10 people or 1,000 people. It's the same thing.
I can imagine indeed. If we look at society today, there will be a day Corona is over. Well, let's hope the sooner the better, of course. How do you see the future? Will these new trends of online team building stay? Will that change? How do you look at it?
I think some of the elements will stay, not all, of course. But if you look to a few trends, you will see that some elements of that we are doing now, the online team buildings, I think they will remain. For team building, I believe, I'm not Madame Soleil, but I believe that we're going to have more hybrid events, meaning that people from different countries will stay in their country and they will all work together at the same events through hubs. So that's something that I think is going to stay, or even also people from home like we are doing right now. Not everybody is going regularly back to the office. And I believe also after Corona, you will have more people working. Now it's 1 day at home they're working. It will be 2 days, 3 days, and even more for some companies. If you look to Proximus or Telenet, they announced a few weeks ago that they would adapt their offices in Brussels and in Mechelen, more having a meeting office and not having the real office. So that kind of changes in the society will also drop down to team building. And I think it's all only based on money. It's less expensive to do it from home than to have everybody flying in. And it's also ecological because you're not flying or you're not driving to a certain castle where you have your team building. So that's going to be a more mixed team building after Corona, I believe.
Yeah, indeed. Currently, one of the things I hear in a lot of companies is that people working from home, they miss that connection with other people. And well, we hope Corona will be over very soon, but at least it will take still, in the best case, a few months, half a year maybe, before things get back to a little bit of normality. Can this kind of interactions you organize also help people in feeling connected?
Yeah, one of the things that we see is that all the automatically gestures and processes in a team, they are dismantling. When you are at the office and you see your colleague and you have a question, you simply ask the question to your colleague. That's something you're not doing right now. You're not calling, you're not zooming in for a simple question. You try to find the answer on the internet and you do it by yourself. This kind of automatic communication between team members is not there anymore. And that's something really crucial. At this moment, people really feel the necessity of getting a coffee, the chit-chat that they have at the coffee break. It is really important. The communication that smokers have outside, they have all the gossips of the company, but that's what makes the culture of a company, that makes the identity of the company. All those things are gone, and you need these kinds of online team buildings because we give them a few minutes in the beginning, we give them time afterwards that they can talk to each other. And the element of fun is also very important. It's not only about business. All meetings that we have nowadays are really into the topics of the meeting. Tack, tack, tack. We're only doing meeting, and we don't have the opportunity to talk to each other anymore about how do you do. Last 2 weeks ago, I had an event, and during the award ceremony, after the award ceremony, there was a female partner. She showed her newborn baby to the colleagues, and some of the colleagues responded, "I didn't know you were pregnant." Can you imagine?
No.
I didn't know you were pregnant. I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what to say. I was shocked by what they all said over there. So meaning that those people, they weren't talking about more than 9 months to each other. They didn't know it from each other. So it's really important to get connected again and to see how communication is evolving in teams, because it's going dramatically in some teams.
One thing I didn't ask yet is, in a lot of team buildings online, you also see a physical element. A box, some cocktails, drinks, whatever you receive at home. I see a nice box behind you over there. Yeah, that one. Is that something you send to participants?
Yeah, absolutely. If we can, of course, because working international is nice, but not that handy if you have to send over boxes. But those boxes are great to have a live experience during that virtual game. Either it could be indeed, as you already mentioned, Kevin, a cocktail workshop, but it could also be a box like Johnny showed, where they have to crack a code and where they have a box for each day to really create the buzz around that event and to make sure that you don't have a 1 hour and a half during team building, but you really make it last longer. So you create buzz about it so that people already start on Monday and they have to prepare by Thursday. So you really create a live experience in that team building. But that is really a nice element that we can easily add to the programs, as our activities are all teamed. So we can easily send personalized boxes or either wooden boxes as shown there to the clients.
Even custom made boxes like this. With every personalized item inside. Between November and now, we've sent more than 6,000 of different kind of boxes to different kind of participants all over the world. So a lot of logistic get involved to send 6,000 boxes all over the world.
Absolutely. And we all made them by hand here in our offices. So those 6,000 boxes were all prepared by our colleagues, which is an important detail to mention, of course.
Yeah.
Indeed. It seems you've built a lot of experience on online team building over the past few months. If our viewers want to know more or organize something for their own company, how can they reach you? Just go to your website or?
Absolutely. You can just go to our website, which is eventmasters.eu, or BE works as well. So they can just go to our website and there all the information is visible. And which is very important to mention is that you can always book a free demo, because I fully understand that explaining how an online team building works is very difficult to do. So that's why we organize these free demos to our clients to really show what an online team building is. So if you're interested, don't hesitate. You can simply book an online team building on our website, or even register for one of our sneak previews where you can participate in one of the demos that we organize on a monthly basis. So there's a lot of possibilities to contact us and to be able to really participate in one of the activities and to really feel it yourself, because participating is the only way on how you can fully understand what an online team building is.
Okay, I will put the link below the video so people can find it easily. Johnny, Stephanie, I really want to thank you for joining and sharing your thoughts on online team buildings.
Thank you.
It was our pleasure.
It was our pleasure. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you so much. And you at home, thank you for watching our show. I hope to see you next week.